Yeah.
Thank you, Doug. And I want to thank all of you for being here today also. With everything still kind of being a little crazy and uncertain in the world, I'm really excited to be able to bring this information to you and to our current partners, to any potential new partners, because without you guys, without our agents, we can't be successful. So we've developed this travel stimulus plan to hopefully get things started for you all and in this new year. And there's a couple of other new things too that I'm going to mention also, like a new Facebook program that we started recently and a new policy for our 2021 tours. So let's get started. For those of you who are new today, I'm going to start with a little bit of background about Image Tours, because if you're thinking about doing this stimulus plan with us, then you're probably going to want to know who we are. For those of you that are familiar with us, just sit back and relax for about 2 to 3 minutes and we'll get right into the stimulus plan after that. So Image Tours is a third-generation family-owned and operated tour company specializing exclusively in escorted European tours. We were founded in 1939 in Amsterdam by Roelof Postma Sr., and the company was originally called MHAGI Tours, which is derived from a Dutch acronym meaning the most satisfaction and best quality in travel for less money. MHAGI started providing services in the U.S. as a tour operator in 1960 when Roelof Postma Jr. came to Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's where we are now. And he was an exchange student during his college years. During that time, he organized the first Heart of Europe tours for students, faculty, and also civic organizations in Michigan. The company is now owned and operated by his daughter, Monique Kosmauskas, and her husband, Mike, and that's them in the front there. Our company started to pursue some new advertising strategies, and MHAGI Tours was changed to Image Tours in the hopes that the new name would be easier for clients to remember. And then in 1986, we decided to no longer sell tours directly to clients, and instead we sell all of our tours exclusively through travel agencies. And the goal with that is to reinforce our positive relationships with our travel partners and eliminate any competition for business with our partner agents. And during COVID, I did a fun little project and put together a collage of some of our actual partners, and that's what you're seeing here on the screen. Some of these guys have been with us for 20 years. Some of them are brand new. We love all of them. Lastly, Image Tours is a member of TAP, the Travel Alliance Partners, the ABA, American Bus Association, the NTA, National Tour Association, CCRA, ASTA, and we're a top tour operator. We're a respected organization in the European tour market, and we compete with our larger competitors by successfully maintaining the integrity of the motto, superior value with a personal touch. All right, so before I introduce this travel stimulus plan, you can type in the chat in the question section for this. I'm going to ask you all a question. And you can let Doug know your answer, and Doug, if you could let me know what people are saying. So the question is, how many of you here today have a mailing list? And I'll just give you a couple seconds to type yes or no, super simple. Are we getting anything in there, Doug?
Yep, Sophia, we're getting some answers back. So far we have all yeses and 1 no.
Okay, I'm really pleased to hear that. A lot of people don't have a mailing list, so I'm really excited to hear that some of you guys do. And then the other question I have is, how many of you, or do you have a client list? Again, you can answer yes or no. If you're brand new, you probably don't have a huge client list yet, and that's all right.
Well, the good news is you're getting all yeses to that.
Cool. So if you answered yes to the first one, no, if you answered no to the first one, no, you don't have a mailing list, and you answered second to the second one, yes, your client list actually can be a mailing list. And if you've never thought of it that way, then that's kind of what the stimulus plan is going to get your brain thinking about in that way. All right, so what do I keep talking about? What's the stimulus plan? Let's get right into it. Image Tours has developed a 3-part mailing program to get your name back in front of your clients' eyes. We have already had our regular mailing program that agents have been taking advantage of for years. Some of you may be familiar with it already. But with this travel stimulus plan, we've decided to give you guys 2 mailings for free when you sign up for our 3rd mailing this fall. So you have to have your own client list or mailing list, which it sounds like a lot of you guys do, preferably with about 500 names on it. But if you have less than 500 names, you can still give me a call and we can talk about the types of clients that you have on that list and see if it could still be a good fit. And on the screen here, you see an overview of what this stimulus plan looks like for the timeline. That first free mailer is going to hit mailboxes in April for your clients. The second mailer is also free, hitting client mailboxes in mid-August. And the third mailer, which is paid, or if you have a credit, which I'll talk about later, that's going to hit client mailboxes this fall. And the deadline to sign up for this is January 29th. Some of you might be wondering, why should I send direct mail? If you don't already, sending a piece of mail to your clients is super important for a couple of reasons. First, it lets them know that you're still in business, that you survived the pandemic, and that when they're ready to travel, you're ready to assist them. Because there's so many companies that unfortunately closed their doors this past year, it's going to be really, really important to let your clients know you haven't gone anywhere. Second, unlike email, clients actually have to touch it and bring it inside the house with them, which makes it more likely that they're going to actually see it and process that information. Lastly, the more times you touch a client, and I put touch in air quotes because it comes in many forms and I'm not talking about actually touching them on the back, it creates more of an opportunity for yourself to create bookings. And if you have a list of past clients, it's really important that you put that list to use and really optimize it. Because if you're not contacting your past clients in a way that they're seeing, then someone else probably is. They're on that list because they're travelers, which means that they're probably going to travel more than once in their lives. And so if it's your name that they're seeing, then it's going to be you who serves that client in the future. If not, online booking tools like Expedia and Kayak, or maybe even other travel agencies might get that client's business for their next trip. That's not what we want. And we're pretty sure, can't read your mind, but pretty sure that that's not what you want either. We want your clients to start thinking about travel, and we want them to pick up the phone and call you. So that's why we want to help you do it. Our regular mailing program is something we've been doing for the past 20 years. It's been proven to work and produce bookings. Otherwise, we wouldn't have kept doing it for 20 years. I do want to mention, though, that it's not something that's going to make your phone ring off the hook. It's not a miracle pill. Nothing ever is. And if someone's trying to tell you that it is, they're probably not giving you the full truth. And the goal is just to create another touch with those clients in addition to whatever else you're doing with them, whether that's emails or newsletters or social media or newspaper. We are willing to pay completely for 2 campaigns worth of mailing to those clients to help kickstart your clients' interest in travel again after the total shutdown for the last year. And we know that this type of touch to those clients is extremely beneficial, and that's why we're willing to pay for it. So the math kind of works out that if you send this mailer 3 times to a list of 500 names, you're most likely going to get 1, maybe 2 bookings. And the commission that you're making from a $4,000 plus tour package like this is well worth the price of paying for that 3rd mailing when you're getting the other 2 free. So I also want to point out that this program works when the client list is yours, which, as we talked about earlier, when I asked you guys that question, it sounds like a lot of you guys have that, so great, that's fantastic. But we have had people in the past ask if they can purchase like a local zip code list spot from the internet of people like that they've never had contact with before, and we've seen a ton of agencies and companies waste their time and money on things like that, and we've determined it just doesn't work for our product, so that's not the kind of list we are going to be able to be using for this program. So you're probably thinking, all right, you're talking about this mailer, but what is in it? What does it look like? How much does it cost? So give me a second here, and I'm going to pull up some examples of previous mailers. It's going to look a lot like these, but with the current information, obviously. We have two mailer designs that we alternate between. One is a multi-tour mailer, which you're seeing here, hopefully. I'm just going to scroll down and let you kind of see what that whole thing looks like. Like I said, this is a past one, but it'll be the same format as this, maybe different coloring and alrighty. And then the other one is a single tour mailer, and it's promoting our most booked tour, the Heart of Europe Circle Tour. And right here you see an example of that mailer. This one is 2 pages, and it has the Heart of Europe Circle Tour stuff on it. Alrighty. So it's important to note that we're taking care of all of the design work. We're designing that whole thing, all of the printing, all of the postage. Our mailers, as you saw, contain some of our most popular tours. They also contain some of our available departure dates, tour and air inclusive pricing, so that clients can really start to envision that vacation plan when they have this. But the most important thing that it includes is your contact information. And here, I'll pull that up again so you can see where exactly that is. So on this one, your contact information goes right here. It's got a call to action, your free 76-page tour brochure, and then your contact information, agency name and or logo goes here. And then on the other one, here, and then it's also here. And if you'll notice too, also our contact information isn't anywhere on there because we don't work directly with clients. We don't want them calling us. And because, as I mentioned earlier, we don't work with those clients, we need them to be contacting you. So the goal here is to get them to request a brochure, which, like I read you, the free 76-page brochure is that call to action on there. Because when they request a brochure, it actually builds in another touch, because I was talking about those touches earlier, because when you send them a brochure, kind of you have to call them to make sure that they got the information that you sent them. So it's got that extra touch built in for you. And the more touches you have with that interested client, the more likely you are to convert them into a booking. So for 500 names on your client list, the mailer costs $204 total, which is less than the price of a stamp per piece of mail. If you have a different size client list, pricing can be found on our sign-up sheet, which if you're interested, I will send that to you. But for example, it doesn't change a whole lot. For 1,000 names, which is double the 500, the price is only $281. So the price per piece actually goes down the more names that you have on your list. And remember, you're getting 3 full campaigns for just that one price. The first 2 completely on us, and we're doing all of the work for all 3 of them. And the only thing you need to do is sign up, put your list together, and send it to the mailing house. So this next part is only applying if you have a credit with us from one of the mailings last year. In 2020, we paused all marketing for our agents because we felt that it wasn't an effective time to be spending money marketing travel in general, let alone travel to Europe. And we wanted to help our partners and advise them to use their funds in the most effective way possible because that was crucial to staying in business this past year. So for that reason, some agencies who had signed up for our regular mailing program last year in 2020 have a credit from that pause. And this third mailing in the stimulus package is when we would be using that credit. So if that applies to you, let me clarify, you're still going to get those 2 completely free mailings, one in April and one in August. And then if you have that credit from the paused mailing in 2020, then we'll use that credit in the fall for this third mailing. So when you send your list of, or if you sent your list of names back in 2020 to the mailing house, then we're going to use that same list for all 3 mailings. Doesn't matter if you had 500 or 2,000 or 10,000, all of those clients are going to get a mailing each time. If you don't want to change your list, then there's no further work required from you. If you do want to change it, there are instructions on the sign-up sheet, but all you need to do is submit a new list to the mailing house just the same way you did the first time with your agency name and phone number in the subject line. And those of you with a mailing credit, you're actually already signed up for this travel stimulus plan, and those mailings will automatically start for you in April if you're not wanting to change your list. So we're trying to make it super duper easy to get you guys kickstarted for travel this year. So for our current partners, if you're someone that is currently advertising with us, and by current, I put that in quotes too, because I mean you were advertising with us when the world sort of ended. The travel stimulus plan is slightly modified for you. If that applies, you can just give me a call or give Justin a call and we'll get you up to speed. If you want to become an advertising partner with us and get some of the extra benefits that apply with that, then just shoot me an email or give me a call and we'll work together to get some things started. My contact information is going to be up on the last screen. So the deadline to sign up for this is Friday, January 29th. If you want to take advantage of the full stimulus plan, that means both of those 2 free mailings, one in April, one in August, and then that third one that's paid in the fall. And the payment and the list is due to the mailing house by February 5th. So if you're unable to sign up or get your mailing list together by that deadline, then you'll miss out on free mailer number 1. But if you still want to sign up, you could get the free mailer number 2 and the third one in the fall also. So if you do have a client list and you want to put it to use, then email me at sophia@imagetours.com and I'll send you a sign-up form. And just a reminder, I'm going to put that back up at the end of the webinar, so if you don't have time to write it down now, don't worry. So, in addition to that travel stimulus plan, Image Tours also recently implemented a Facebook ad design program, which we will customize a Facebook ad with an air-inclusive price for your agency and send it to you via email with some suggested text for the post. When you sign up for this program, we will send you an ad every couple of weeks, and then all you have to do is post it. On the slide here, you're seeing an example of one of our Heart of the British Isles tour ads that went out recently. It's a sample ad, so it has the air price down there from Grand Rapids, because that's where we're located. This program is completely free. If you're interested in receiving that free Facebook content from us, shoot me an email and I'll get you set up. Now keep in mind that these are 2 separate programs. For the travel stimulus plan, there's a sign-up form that I'll send you. You got to complete that. For the Facebook program, all I need is an email with your agency's name, travel identification number, and contact information. And then last thing here, because of the uncertainty surrounding travel due to the pandemic, Image Tours introduced a flexible date change policy for passengers booked on 2021 tours. This means that travelers will have the flexibility to change dates without any fees or penalties prior to final payment. The departure can be changed to a date later or to a later date within 2 years of their original departure date, with the latest being through October 2022. So for any of the new inquiries that you're getting, just go ahead and let them know about this. If they've got something that comes up and they need to change, no fees or penalties. All right, so like I said on the last slide, I would have my contact information. There it is, boom. Sophia@imagetours.com is my email. Phone number is 800-968-9161, extension 2223. And if you guys have any questions, now would be the time to ask.
Perfect. Thanks, Sophie, and I apologize. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this that there would be time for questions. Maybe I did. Anyway, please do send those in if you have any. Sophia, thank you for that presentation. I think that's a great program, and I couldn't agree more that travel advisors definitely need to keep their name out in the forefront and let their clients know that they're there and ready to book when they are. Super.
Were there any questions coming up or no?
We have a question here. How do I know that my client list will be secure?
Okay, so that's a great question. Image Tours, like I said, only works through travel agencies, which means we're never ever contacting clients directly anyway. But secondly, you're not sending your client list to us, you're sending it directly to the mailing house, and so we're never even touching it. The mailing house uses it to send that to your client list, and then they delete it. So totally secure.
Perfect. Okay, let me see what we have here. No, I think that's it.
Okie dokie.
Oh, sorry, here we do.
Oh.
We do have one.
Okay.
What is your target demographic for Image Tours?
I can't remember the exact number, but there's like a number that has a half on it. But it's newly retired couples are typically the people that are going on our tours. We have anywhere from, people who are 80 years old to people who take their grandkids for spring break. And so we've got some kids on there as well. But mostly you're seeing newly retired couples on our tours.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Okay.
Just a reminder that the session was recorded. It will be available on our website, jacksfacts.com, within the next few days. So if you need to go back for reference, please feel free to do that. And I guess with that will wrap up today's session. Sophia, always a pleasure to have you join us.
Always a pleasure to be here.
And thank you, travel professionals, for participating today. We look forward to seeing you in future sessions. Everyone, have a great afternoon. Thank you.
All righty.